Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Friday Craft Day. If you see a little swish once in a while in this camera view, Chelsea's up on the table here joining me. Probably wants to be petted, but she's right now looking out the window. But she's liable to come and go here in a minute. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to work on a paper crafting project. If you remember, and if you look at my name, Madonna's Dreamworks Paper Dreamer 1, when I first started my YouTube channel, it was Paper Dreamer 1, and my primary focus was on paper crafting. And I've made many albums. If you look over here on the shelf behind me, most of those are albums that I have made that I kept because they weren't made for someone in particular. And a while ago I said I'm going to make a little album that I think most people could make, even if they're not crafty paper crafters. It's a very simple type of album, and it's called a Waterfall Folio. Now, I've made quite a few of them, and I've adapted it and made it into recipe books and as well as photo folios. But today I'm going to do the photo folio, and we're probably going to get at least the covers done and decorated, and we'll see if we get the inside waterfall pieces put together. And then maybe Tuesday we'll finish the decorating. Now, here's why I think this is a good idea. I know today's young folks, and us old folks too, most of us do our pictures digitally, and that's fine. But you know, we can't get together right now, and so this is a perfect opportunity to create a little gift for grandma, grandpa, mama, dad, aunts, uncles, or whatever. Excuse me, I had a little coughing jack, nothing more than kitty dander up here on the table. She likes to get brushed up here, and when I sit here sometimes, the kitty dander gets in my nostrils and throat. Anyhow. A nice little gift for grandma, grandpa, mom and dad, aunts, uncles. And it can be a gift that just gives you the opportunity to share what you did with your family for Christmas. And so I would call this like an after Christmas gift, a January gift, a winter gift. Oh, I'm going to have company here in a minute. Yes. And you can take your pictures over the Christmas holidays. Okay, so maybe it's your tree, maybe it's some of the pretty lights around your neighborhood, maybe it's the gifts that you receive. If you have kids, it might be watching them open their gifts, and you know, taking a few snapshots there, especially if you have the gift from Grammy, Grampy. Now, I know we Zoom call and we FaceTime and all of that, but you know, it's still fun to have a little hard copy. And some of the grandmas and grandpas don't FaceTime and Zoom call. They don't have the kind of phones to do that. So I'm going to show you how to make a quick little folio today, and I think you'll enjoy it, and I think we can get quite a bit of it done, and you can probably decorate it on your own, but I will come back again Tuesday if we don't finish it today and do the decorating. So let me take you down to the table, and I'll explain all of the things that you'll need, and you can get them together, and by Tuesday you'll have yours all made. I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, let's look to see what you are going to need. You're going to need some medium weight chipboard. I'll give you the dimensions in just a minute. A ruler, a bone folder, or something that you can use to press down on your project. Some scissors, a cutting tool, a scoring tool if you have it, some wet glue or double-sided tape, or some tape of your choice. I have both wet glue and double-sided tape here, as well as my ATG gun, which I don't have out here yet. Here it is here. Okay? And so we're going to be using different things for different parts of this. And we're going to start by making the cover. And the cover uses 3 pieces of medium weight chipboard. You need one 12 by 12 sheet. Now some of your craft stores sell this, but you could use, if you have beer drinkers in your house, the cardboard that is in a beer case is a good weight. I think the soda cases, I don't drink soda, so I'm not sure, but I think it's about the same. Also, the flaps of your Amazon boxes that have come would work for this too. And you're going to need 3 pieces, a front cover, a back cover, and a spine. Now the front cover and the back cover are cut at 4.5 by 8.5. 4.5 by 8.5. And the spine is cut 3/4 of an inch by 8.5. Okay? 3/4 by 8. So let's get rid of some of this for a minute. And we're going to start by getting the book ready to wrap the covers. And I'm going to use this blue triangle type paper. It actually came from a Christmas stack that has red Christmas paper and the red and greens, and then it has a whole section that is more snowmen and let it snow and that kind of thing. So I thought I didn't want to make this specifically a Christmas book, so I would use the blues, and I can get some coordinating cardstock with that. Now this piece of paper is cut 12 inches. This is a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, okay? It's 12 inches on one side, and it is 10.5 on the other side. And we're going to use that to cover the book. So I'm going to start by bringing out the scoreboard, and I'm going to score on 3 sides at 1 inch. So I'm going to score over here at 1 inch. I'm going to turn it once, score again at 1 inch. And why I'm doing this is this will help us line up the covers so that they stay straight. And score one more time at 1 inch. All right. Now, if I turn it this way, you can see it better, I think. And that's the side we're going to be working with. All right, so I have an inch here and I have an inch here, and they meet right up here in the corner. So this is where my first cover is going to go, and it's going to go right along the top line and the side line, and that will make it nice and square, okay? So I'm going to start by putting a little bit of this double-sided tape, and I'm going to use the score tape because I have some, but you can use regular double-sided tape, or you can use wet glue. And I'm going to do this to both of these covers so that they'll be ready. And this happens to be 1/2 inch score tape. Okay, let's get that one. Let's put some on this one. Boy, I hope I remember how to do these. It's been a while. And I am going to cut this. I never can tear these right, so I will cut it. Oops, sorry. I'm not a good tearer. This is terrible tape. Terrible. T-E-A-R-able tape. But I don't tear very well. Okay, then what I'm going to do, oops, and I need to do one for this too. This will just take one piece right down the middle. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is take then my ATG gun and just kind of put some more in the middle. This is a double-sided tape also. It's just in a dispenser. So now, okay, there it is here. I usually use my craft knife to get these top pieces off, because when you have fake fingernails, you don't have sharp nails to get them off. Okay. Now I'm going to take this, and like I said, I'm going to line it right up with this corner, with that corner, and with this side, and with the top. Try not to get my head in the camera. There we go. And I'm going to do the same with the other one on the other end. There we go. You know, I have a whole closet full of photo albums, because in my generation we didn't have digital phones and couldn't take digital pictures. So who knows what happens to those when we are no longer. Okay, now I'm going to this other corner right over here, and I'm going to go up the top, the corner, and lay it down. So now I have just this one piece here, and what I'll do is split the difference, and it will make a space for the book. Now I'm just going to take my bone folder and just kind of make sure it's down there. Now we're going to fold these along these score lines. Okay, and what we're going to do is fold over these pieces to make the cover, but you need to trim these corners just a little bit. And I'm going to trim them with a metal edge ruler. And I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch because that's the width of my chipboard. You don't need to use your knife. You can certainly draw a line and do it with scissors. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is to put some tape on the top here on the paper. Yep. And I'm also going to put a piece on the top of the cardboard. All the way around. Let me just make sure that's down good. All right, so now I start at these are the two long sides, these are the two short sides. I start with the long side and we'll get that down first. Now this has got a little piece hanging over there. I should have put the tape on before I cut the corners, only because it makes it easier to get a straight piece. And we're going to just push this down nice. Okay, I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to do the other side the same way. Get the tape backing off the one on the cardboard. And off the paper. And bring that one down. Okay, now we're going to do the two corners, the two ends. So I'm going to take, let me get this tape off of here first. Paper. Okay, now I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to kind of push these corners in. Sort of like when you do a Christmas present and you wrap the corners, you kind of bend them into the middle. They're very small. And then I will push this down. Now Now let me show you. If you see here, I cut that corner a little bit too shallow, and you can see a little bit of the cardboard. It won't make a difference. It's going to be covered up. But that's to show you what happens. Like I said, been a while. We don't let those kind of things stress us out. I should have left a little bit bigger. There we go. Now we're just going to move this up 45-degree angle this way, and move it up 45-degree angle this way, and we've got the book cover. Look at that. And it's nice and loose. It's not hard to bend. It's not tearing the paper. All right, so now we're going to cover the inside of this. And I have a piece of paper that is cut at 8 1/8. Now this, remember, this is 8 1/2, and this is close to, oh, let's see, we did this 4 1/2. 4 1/2 is 9, and then this is 9 3/4. It's about 10 inches. So I'm going to make this piece here at 8 1/8, which is just 1/8 less than the half, and it's by 9 5/8. So there you go. It's going to fit right in here nicely. So with that one, what I'm going to do is just use my tape runner. A squeaky wheel. And let's just go around the other way a little bit. Ooh. Trying not to get it stuck to everything. All right. Here we go. How's that? Nice, huh? And again, we'll just bring these up. I'm just going to go lightly with my bone folder. And I'm going to go lightly again with my bone folder. So that I can bring these up. And there you go. And that's all there is to making the cover of the book. So actually we did that quite quickly. Now we're going to begin to do the waterfall. And I'm going to get the papers out here, get rid of this mess, and I will be right back and we'll put a waterfall in. Alright, now we have the book and we're going to create the waterfall. We're going to put the waterfall on the right hand side. And I'm going to start off with a solid piece for the base. It will go like this, okay? And that helps me get the rest of them lined up straight. So the base is going to be 7 3/4 inches by 4. All right, now I have a crocodile here. They're like corner punches, but they have different shapes. And so I'm going to put a shape on mine. And I'm going to use the one that says Deco. So I'm just going to put it on the bottom, and you just put it in here like this, and it just gives it a little bit of a shape on the bottom. And then we're going to attach it. And now here's our seam, if you can see, and I'm just trying to split the difference. So I'm going to use my ATG gun. Sorry for the squeaks. And my design is on the bottom. And there we go. Now I have 7 pieces that are cut at 4 by 4.5, and they are going to be the picture holders, okay? There's 7 of them, and they're cut at 4 by 4.5. Now I'm putting them in my scoreboard, and on the 4.5 inch side, I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch. So it really ends up being 4 by 4. And I'm going to do that with all of them. Now I'm scoring it at 1/2 inch because I'm left-handed. Now if you're right-handed, you can always put them in and score at 4 because that's 4.5, okay? But for me, scoring it at 1/2 inch is the easiest way. And one more, because I did a couple before we came back. Okay, now we're just going to take, we can get rid of this. And we're going to fold these on the score line. Give them a nice burnish. And if you fold backwards on the score line, see, this is the part where I pushed in, so if I fold it backwards, it folds easier. Now I'm going to take these and I'm going to do the same little edge on the bottom. And these cutters will cut through multiple pieces. There we go. So now we're going to just attach these to our book. And I think I'm going to use a piece of 1/4 inch score tape. Now you can use wet glue, you can use any kind of double-sided tape. Let me see how this works with this. All right, now here's where you want to line it up with the very top. And I'm going to turn my book sideways so I can see it without putting my head in the middle of the camera. And the side. And I still didn't get that straight, so I'm going to straighten it. There we go. Now actually, I'm going to see if I can get the wet glue going. All right, let's see what we can do here. Now you open this up, and the next one will sit right underneath it, like this. Okay? So I just put a little bit of wet glue. And if you use a wet glue, you just have a little bit of wiggle room to rearrange if they're not quite where you want them. And I'm just going to continue down. With all 7. They go right underneath the one above it. Flip it up. And these are all going to have decorative paper put on them. Now that one I don't like, but see, I can move it. There we go, that's better. That's what I like about using the wet glue. It is forgiving. And I need lots of forgiveness sometimes when I'm doing paper crafts. And like I said, it's been a while since we've worked on something like this, or I have. And the last one, There you go. That's a waterfall. And you can go back and it'll sit down after a while when your book has been closed and whatever. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is to make a little half pocket over here. So you can just put maybe a gift card or just a hello, or store extra pictures when you're not quite ready to put them in. And I'm going to cut a piece of paper that is 5.5 by 5.5 by 4.5. Yes, I guess I will do that. Now that I've covered up the scoreboard. On the 5.5 side, I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch. So it will end up being 4.5 by 4.5. Okay, that's here. Now I'm going to turn it one side and I'm going to score it 1/2 inch again. And we'll take these two score lines and we'll just bend them down and burnish them. Okay, and what that's going to do is create a pocket right here. You got to fold them the other direction, I think. There we go. Yep, that'll be it. And then I'm just going to make a little slice right along here and make a little pocket out of it. So here's what we're going to do here. We're going to start with just cutting out this little corner because it won't lay flat. Okay, now I can fold this up and I can fold this in and it's nice and flat. So let's get those folded in. Now before I get this glued down, I'm going to just cut a little diagonal. And I'm going to eyeball this. You can measure it. But I just eyeballed it. Now I will tell you, anytime you're going to make something that you want to put pictures inside of, all right, or you know, like a pocket of some sort, you want to use a wet glue. Because the wet glue, once it's dry, will not be sticky inside. You see this? Now lets me put things in here. Okay? So there we are. There's our book, our covers that we made. and the waterfall that we made, and the pocket. And I think that's all we're going to do today. And here's what we're going to do Tuesday. We're going to decorate it. We're going to decorate the outside. And what you'll need to do is you're going to need to cut 2 pieces of paper for each one of these flaps, because there's a picture here and a picture here. So it actually holds 7, 8, 15 pictures. Okay? So we need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 1 to fit right here, 15 pieces of paper, of pretty decorative paper. And you'll need 1 that will go over here. And now I have this little piece that I cut out. I'm going to save it because it's going to help me measure where to cut my decorative paper. Okay? So, that's it for today. That wasn't too difficult. I think most of us could muddle our way through that. And I'm going to be putting this up, and then I'm going to start getting my papers ready to decorate it. If we decorate it, I think we'll just get too long here. So I'm going to just be back in a couple of minutes with some closing remarks. Hold on there. Oh, my clock is going off in the background. And if you noticed, the music is Christmas. There is a switch on the back of my clock that I can switch it from regular music to Christmas music. So it only has about 5 or 6 different tunes in Christmas music. So let me tell you, by the time Christmas gets here, you're getting sick of listening to those 5 tunes. But anyway. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Try something different once in a while. And we'll be back on Tuesday to finish this up. Well, first I will be here Sunday with something. If you like chocolate and you feel really decadent, you need to see Sunday. Easy peasy, decadent chocolate delight. Delicious. I can't wait. So anyway, but in the meantime, get some cardboard and some paper, cardstock, and maybe some decorative paper. You can buy them by the sheet, or you can buy a block. If you're not going to buy a whole lot of things, Michael's and Hobby Lobby, of course, all have these, as well as does Amazon and a lot of other craft places. But Tuesday morning, sometimes you can find some nice little paper pads, very inexpensively. So I'll see you again on Sunday. And until then, I want everybody to have a great Friday afternoon. Keep warm. Be safe, keep warm. I hope you're all dug out. I heard some places had 4 feet of snow. Play by the rules. Wear your mask, keep your distance, wash your hands. And everybody, play nice now. I'll see you Sunday. Love you. Bye-bye.